Housewives are those who prefer to stay home yet want to live in actual urban conditions could also help said community by making food which can be picked up, which should also be properly tested and documented to ensure there is no chance of poison or alien objects. This could create yet another tax incentive, as the tax incentive stated would be feasible due to decrease in health and food costs. Doctors, dentists and actual nutritionists, albeit small in quantity, could significantly decrease health ailments and unnecessary doctors visit. I believe doctors that serve higher class individuals have a precise and effective system, yet this type of establishment is not feasible for this community, at least in respects to general health, not including specialty doctors for those that may need it in this community. This would then allow corporations the responsibility to rightfully serve the proper audience rather than a generalized system that affects the whole humanitarian ecosystem. The audience could then rightfully yet fairly demand proper customer assistance and easeful establishment. You would then help corporations find the proper workers and possible tax incentives that can be connected to said community. Again, this would have to be agreed upon within this type of communal democracy, which would also justify having less political vote as it's more direct. Helping said community should not necessarily raise or depreciate a corporation's market, yet it should be a highly suggested route, thus allowing fair and accessible rights for any corporations. Said community would help filter and place people in the right career environment. This essentially could allow corporations a right to look at a portfolio-esque domain browser if permission is granted and if there is interest in working in a more fast-paced, integral environment. Portfolios should be created and edited with individual permission. There also should be very little media coverage in this area, and as said before, should have a communal opinion on whether this is feasible. There should be no rights journalism, as any controversy should be immediately directed to an organized set of individuals with opinion. As mentioned, there should be scouts that further help you find talent or establishment and acceptance with your choice. These scouts should also help finding individuals that would be willing to represent their group, based yet again on vote and individual statements. Yet this should be highly known to all individuals, as known as the national flag, as it would allow people to subconsciously know there are alternatives and actual immediate programs that can help. Government should provide easy transport whether in or out of community. There still should be rights for homeless people to live on the streets, as this type of demand could further create a hostile environment, yet appropriate conditions may help lessen the inevitable street population, as most are stagnant due to confusion and lack of skills. Voting system. If a ratio is 70/30 mark, the following could take place. Editor consolidates all arguing statements, thus creating another voting realm. Until the opinion is further established, there should be a time limit in order for clear and fair communication. If there are still alternative perspectives that are completely different, there should be formal documents stating their claims, so there is a more rounded perspective on the needs and problems. If the individual is confident, he should have rights to directly speak his point. An individual statement, if formal and respectful, no matter how alien or uneducated, should be highly protected. This then allows less of the scapegoating pattern and less individual corruption in a community that is more vulnerable. There should be an essence of echo in voice. A system like this can ultimately protect everyone's right for speech. It allows the subconscious knowledge that you will always have a home through substantial, less impactful means. Politics can gain back its integrity through more direct help, and the people can like themselves. It could ultimately create a filter that actually filters correctly. It also wouldn't change democracy. If anything, it would only project the true essence of the material region we reside in, as indigenous culture has been feasibly projected. It creates movement, not a movement.